Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Jim Rohn, the great motivational speaker, once said, take advantage of every opportunity to practice your communication skills so that when important occasions arise, you will have the gift, the style, the sharpness, the clarity, and the emotions to affect people. And that's what I saw when I accepted a role of president of 1810 6 months ago. An opportunity every week to build and perfect my communication skills, but also to develop and build leadership qualities. You show me anything great that's being run, whether it's a Boy Scout troop, a corporation that's changing the way we do business, or a nonprofit that's doing great things in a local community, and I'll show you a great leader that's leading it. Will Rogers once said, if you want to be successful, it's just this simple. Know what you're doing, love what you're doing, and believe what you're doing. Now, I'd like to say that over the last 6 months, I knew everything that I was doing, but that wasn't the case. There's many times I had to ask for advice, guidance, feedback from several of our members, especially a lot of our distinguished Toastmasters. But I believe in the power of Toastmasters as the most affordable personal development program a person can become involved in. Everything that we do in our life centers around our communication skills, whether that is developing and crafting a speech to inspire and motivate, improving your listening skills, or developing skills to run an organized event like one of our meetings. With that being said, my primary goal as president 6 months ago was to build our membership back up to over 50 members. Since when I took over, we had dropped because we had changed a couple locations, and we had several of our long-time members that had moved on into more lucrative careers. And I'm happy to say now, I believe that we're up at 54 members now. And I'd like to think over the next 6 months, we can get up to 75 members. And I think that's very doable since so many people need the skills that they develop here in Toastmasters. I also wanted our club to take on a personal and professional environment that was a fun, inviting atmosphere that challenged people to improve in a safe environment. And I think we did that on a weekly basis by keeping our meetings fun, high energy, and on track time-wise. And through events like our club international speech contest and our table topics contest, where we had 9 speakers in international speech contest and 8 speakers in the table topics portion competing. I'm a believer in how you do little things in your life is how you're going to do the big things. And with that, I brought back the meeting recaps that I send out every Tuesday morning. It takes me about 15 minutes to write up a summary of our Monday night meeting, but it's important because we have a lot of members that do not come to meetings on a regular basis because they're traveling or for other situations they just can't make our meetings every Monday. Another area that I saw that needed improvement was following up with guests. So I asked our VP of Membership, Karen Rafferty, to not only track our guests and also our membership, but also to follow up with our guests. And she did a great job with that. And the follow-up was just simply thanking our guests and welcoming them back to our club. Very simple task, but it makes a huge impression on people. Outside of our president, the role of president, VP of Education is the most critical role. And I want to thank our incoming president, Charles Davis, for the great job that he did in helping us from a distinguished club up to a select distinguished club. by creating our schedules every month and doing an outstanding job with that, and also just keeping track of all the educational requirements. It's a huge task. I want to thank our treasurer, Maria Baltar, for making our annual event at the Day at the Races such an outstanding event, and for helping keeping track of all the club finances and working behind the scenes for doing things like sending out the renewal notices on time, but also helping out with events like tonight, helping out and coordinating everything behind the scenes. I want to thank our secretary, Unique Thomas, for keeping track of all of our business meetings, business reports, and for developing our club newsletter, which is a first. And my hope is over the next 6 months that we can build that into a very powerful marketing piece for the club and include educational items in there, but also news happenings of members and just what's happening within Toastmasters itself, whether it's conventions or meetings coming up, but it's a powerful tool. And finally, I want to thank my two last members of my team, Yaroslav Shogun, for the VP of PR, for managing the transition onto a new website and coordinating all our PR efforts with the website, keeping everything up to date, and our Sergeant at Arms, David Bostain, for always making sure that the room was set up ahead of time, keeping track of all our supplies. I never would have been able to do a lot of the things I could have accomplished over the last 6 months without a great team. In addition, I want to thank our past president, Craig Smikle, for his help in developing the marketing pieces for the Day at the Races and for our club advertisement in the brochure for District 47 Conference, and for serving along with Will Laurel and Sanford Sable on the committee for the selecting of our incoming officers. And also I want to thank Joan Noble for heading up the committee for tonight's event, along with Janet Moyle and Merrill Friend for serving on that committee. And when I look back over the last 6 months and think, when you challenge yourself and step outside your comfort zone, whether that is serving as an officer, competing in a speech contest, or showing up regularly at a meeting and just taking part in the meeting in different roles, I'm reminded by a quote from Leonardo da Vinci, who said, "Your learning process never stops and never stops helping you." Madam Toastmaster.